So, welcome back to Comedy or Worse. I'm here with my special guest,
Brennan O'Grady.
Yay! So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a good day. How about you?
A little busy, but we're doing way better now.
Oh, yeah.
False alarm. So, do you use a stage name?
No, I go by my name, just straight up.
That makes sense. Cool.
I started and I wasn't clever enough to think of anything new, so.
Yeah, it'd be funny that if you have an apostrophe in your name, you're like, yeah, that's my stage name.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only difference.
Yeah. So how did you get into comedy?
It's funny. I heard George Carlin on a CD once, and it was the 10 Commandments bit he did.
Yeah.
And that made me stop believing in God. So I'm like, comedy's pretty dope.
Pretty powerful. It can unbrainwash you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh man, I never thought about it that way. And then after that moment, I was like obsessed.
Right, and to be clear, there could be a God, but organized religion really could be the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who knows what's going on up there? But
right.
I got touched by enough Catholic priests to tell you that, they're out there having a ball.
Oh my. Okay. That's not cool.
No, it's not cool.
So, have you gotten any counseling about it, or are you just doing comedy for that?
Oh, just comedy.
Oh, okay. Well, you might want to try counseling too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what do I know?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody lives their own life.
I went to confession. It just kept happening again.
That is repeat offender. That's not good. So did you get addicted to comedy when you first started, or?
Oh yeah, there's like a big hook,
Yeah.
I feel like I did really well my first time I got on stage, just like lucked out a bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when the bombing started, but even then you're already hooked on that first rush that you got. I feel like everyone's got that same story of like either they bomb first and then they finally hit, but every time you just get hooked.
Yeah. Even if you bomb your first time, you're like, yeah, but I could have done better.
Yeah, exactly. You're chasing that dragon.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. So what's your writing process for comedy?
It's very conversational. I feel like I just do a lot of bits with people that I know in general, and 99% of the time it's not good stand-up. But then that 1% of the time I'll be like, all right, you know what? Let me write that down. So that's how I do it. I'm not very much like the sit and lock myself in and get drunk and write down the literary greats. I just walk around and go, huh.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to translate that mess, joking around with your friends and our family, and everyone's laughing, and translate that to the stage, because there's all this, but you got to know that that's his nickname. Or
Exactly.
It's have to be an hour story just to explain it.
Or they have to know your personality, and that's why
Right.
a lot of these people who are really funny off stage just struggle when they get on stage. And then there's some people that are really not very charismatic or outgoing off stage, and then I get shocked when I see them on stage. It's like a whole different person.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a different skill set, and also, I keep telling people I'm trying to broaden my comedy as much as I can, and then be doing it long enough that people will start coming to see me on purpose. Right?
Yeah.
So do you understand the people that are killing?
Yeah.
A high percentage of the people, either their comedy is just so good, they're so, no one's the person hasn't heard of you, but they'll just laugh because you're so refined and it hits something, or it's like they came to see you. You can't just switch the headliner.
Right.
That's totally different and have the audience happy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like you want people to know your personality and know your style and know who you are, or even just know you in general and be like, I like that guy. I want to see him, not stumble into him by accident.
Yeah. So who's the funniest person in your life? It could be anybody.
I mean, I've had some pretty funny people. I've had a lot of funny friends. I've had a lot of funny. I feel like my dad's very funny. I feel like I got a lot of my humor from him. Cool. So that's where a lot of that came from, I think, for me. Very sarcastic, very much I've always had, do you know what rage baiting is? Yeah, I've always had that in me, and they finally came up with a word for it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like me and my dad just rage bait people all the time, and so.
Okay, well that is a different style for sure.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. I always just ask this of everybody. I don't always know what the answer is, but when did we meet?
You know, I saw you the other week at an open mic. I saw you on the stage. So
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it was cool to watch you. It was just you know, it's funny. I think this is just a great venue for comedy.
Exactly.
I think it's
Madhouse Comedy Club.
Madhouse Comedy Club. There's your plug right there. It's a really fun venue. Yeah, but you know, I saw you on stage and I'm like, oh, he's a cool vibe.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet, thanks. Yeah, but I'm not rage baiting.
No, not rage baiting.
No. I mean, you know, I'm trying to win them over.
Right.
Let's be silly. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't want to.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, you're very much like, oh, we're all here to have a good time, and I appreciate that energy, especially like, you know, some people like to go more just like completely, like mess with the audience, put them down. Like I've noticed that a lot as a trend in comedy. It's kind of weird to me, like to be so aggressive, like mean towards the people
what's the
you're trying
difference
to win
between
over.
that and rage baiting?
Well, I do that with my friends, you know.
Oh, you don't do that on stage.
I wouldn't do. I mean, yeah, I probably wouldn't do it on stage. I feel like
Okay, this is starting to make more sense.
exactly. I feel like the crowd work. I'm not a big fan of crowd work. I don't know. I feel like that's like a hot take. But when I do crowd work, I will mess with the audience, but I won't make fun of them. Like the way I make fun of them wouldn't be like you're fat. It'd be more like I trick you into saying something funny. You know?
Okay. Yeah, like a crank call or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Oh yeah, cool. So would you ever do, or have you ever done a roast battle?
No, I want to do a roast battle so bad. They look so
okay.
good.
Did you go to the one on Wednesday?
I didn't get to. I was at work. Yeah, I went to some at the Comic Strip Live in New York. That was pretty good.
So do they look at their notes?
Yeah, some of them do, but some of them just know when they walk in and they're like, "I'm going to destroy you."
Yeah. It's like we're building this culture in San Diego for roast battle, and I love it. And you don't look at our notes.
Yeah, you know,
You should know it by now.
like you should look at them and go, "Oh yeah, I have a million things popping in my head I can make fun of you about," and you already
have
know.
3 or 5 jokes, like you can't memorize that. Like what is going on?
It's not even a set.
Yeah,
you know?
you're not even putting any effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks so bad on the clips. It's like we're reading through it. It's like, oh my god. Ugh. Anyway, so have you traveled to do comedy?
A little bit, not that much. I mean, I was living in New York for a while, so I'd go from Long Island to the city, like around that area, a little bit of upstate New York, and then I moved here, but I didn't travel here to do comedy. I traveled here and I knew I was going to do comedy, you know? But I'm open to it. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long were you doing in comedy in New York?
You know, I started it like 3 years ago. Like I started going to some mics. Then I had to like take a break for school, and then I came back and did the open mics for a bit. And then this past year, I started doing like bringer shows and more like actual
Bringer
events.
shows were not good.
Bringer shows. Yeah, it's tough because I think there's two aspects of like bringer shows. One, like open mics are fun, but you're really only telling jokes to a lot of other comics, and even when you're not, like sometimes.
Well, it depends on the scene.
Depends on the scene.
Like this is not the scene to have bringer shows.
Right.
Comics, there's so much stage time that comics aren't going to do it.
Exactly, it's just too much. But like in other scenes, they'll limit the amount of comics they do. They call them like pro shows or like best of. But it's really a bringer show.
It should really be up to the producer to bring the audience.
It is, yeah. That's the secret. It's up to the producer to pick the comics to get the audience. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Right. There's a difference between, you know, comics that have a following, and you know, and then like a bringer show. A bringer show is you're bringing like your friends and family and begging them to come.
Right. Versus having an already pre-established following.
To me, a bringer show is like, you know, it's trying to step up 2 steps in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those people shouldn't be on a show.
Right.
They're not been doing it long enough to have a following.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like, but what it
Yeah, you
does,
should go to a comedy scene where, you know, or start your own mic and put some money into it, have ads. You can get regular people to go to an open mic.
100%. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I think that it's really, again, I think that this is one of those mics where I'm surprised how many like non-comics are sitting in the crowd, which is always
look
great.
at downtown.
Same
Gas
thing.
Lamp.
Yeah.
You have people barking people in. And,
Mm-hmm.
like, you think you would get more people barking in New York and bringing people into the open mic, right?
Yeah, I think that the secret is that like a lot of the times the open mics are like early on weekdays, like really early, so people just aren't looking out like that. It's more for like the open mics are for comics to like master their craft and like practice their sets, and then the bringers are like the step up above that, and then the curated produced shows are like the third step.
Right, but the problem that I've found, I can only tell you what's for me.
Right.
Right, I've been doing comedy in San Diego, but you could just do the open mics that only have comics, and what happens is your comedy is getting darker, it's getting edgier, it's getting more controversial, and the comics are loving it because they're tired of your same stuff. And then you try to do it to a regular crowd, you got Christians in there, you got like all kinds of people. You know, this is a tourist town.
Exactly.
There's people from other countries that are coming here that know English maybe a little bit or whatever, and then you're gonna like, you're not gonna be able to do it. They're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've had that. You know, I was going just in front of comics, and then I go and try to do it at American Comedy Company, and people are like, whoa.
Yeah, I've had that.
Like, oh, okay, I know what I did wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Scalero said that. That's one of the pieces of advice he gave, because I interviewed a bunch of comics for this mini doc.
Oh, nice.
And he was one of the comics I interviewed, and he said when he was first starting, he switched to bringer shows because he was only performing to comics at open mics for a while, and then his material was getting too dark for like the general public. He's like, you only want to do the most fucked up jokes because you know that's what the comics are gonna love when they hear it. And then you meet like a regular person, and they're like, where the fuck did that come from? And you're like, that would have killed with all the other comics, but not with like, you know, someone's aunt. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the trade-off is you're doing comedy during the day. You know.
Yeah.
So San Diego doesn't really have a lot of comedy during the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you can do 5 mics before any mic in San Diego is running.
Exactly.
Then yeah, that definitely is the trade-off. I guess, you know, everything has a positive and negative.
And also, it's not really built around. New York has a weird thing where it's not built around like you having a job. Like a lot of these daytime weekday mics, you're like, I gotta go to work, you know, and that's where you really build up some traction in the first place. And then San Diego, I feel like it takes that into account, where it doesn't really start until most people's jobs are like wrapping up or done.
Right. Yeah. The big cities, sometimes it feels like the whole industry is feeding off the talent. You know, LA has daytime mics too, and you have to pay money.
Yeah.
You know, but I do like the culture of you have to be on time, stay for the whole thing. You know, so then that helps. So even though they're comics, the nice thing, you could go from a San Diego comic, I can go to LA. A lot of people haven't seen me, and it's like they're regular audience members.
Exactly.
Maybe a little more critical. Maybe they don't want to laugh. You know, they're thinking about what they were going to do and everything. You know, so if you can make them laugh, then there you go.
Then you're really saying something funny.
Yeah. Exactly. And you don't necessarily have to be so edgy, and you know, it's just like, you know, I could do a silly pun, and then before they think about it, they're laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I go, oh, I don't usually laugh at puns. Like, oh, I wonder why he made me laugh. Yeah, I don't know. What do I know? This is only year 7 for me. So do you wish? Oh wait, see. Do you have a hobby or a passion that's not related to comedy?
Yeah, I mean, outside of this, I just started a job personal training, so I love the gym, which I feel like in comedy, like fitness is like the antithesis for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that was not something I discovered until recently. Like I've liked comedy longer than I've liked fitness, but yeah, I'd say that's like the big one for me. I mean, other smaller hobbies like video games and like.
Oh yeah. What are you playing?
Right now, I'm hooked back on Fortnite.
That's not a game. That's
It's
just a VR world. It's not in VR.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a metaverse.
I've never liked it, and then all of a sudden, so I moved in with a new roommate, and so playing with my roommates has been fun.
Right.
But
What mode do you play?
I play on zero build. Can't handle build.
Right. Yeah.
Too bad.
That's definitely one of the things that pushed me off of it. I'm like, and especially when you see how fast they could build, I'm like, how is that possible? I know I'm getting older, my reflexes are down, but that's just insane.
That's not an age thing. I can't crank 90s. I can't do it. But that I've been playing Oblivion. That's pretty good.
Oh, nice. The remastered one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I friggin' played it, and then there was a bug. And I'm like all these hours into it, and it's like, oh, to progress in the main story, you either have to wait for a patch or to start over.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I will just pause for now and hope for the patch.
That's what happens with like Fallout. Those games get so glitchy that you just gotta be like, oh,
Yeah,
I completely screwed my save file.
I didn't beat New Vegas because of something like that, or some other game came, and it's like, I don't know. I'm really into Lies of P right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Souls-like, and it's kind of like the style, like a little bit more like Bloodborne. Have you ever seen pictures of Bloodborne?
Yeah, I've seen Bloodborne. I've seen the Lies of P. I saw someone playing it. It's like you're like Pinocchio, kind of, right?
Yeah,
and
like
then
a
you're the
puppet.
robot. Yeah.
Yeah, a robot, but they call it a puppet. Yeah.
And then you can't lie, right? Is that
Usually
normal robots can't lie?
Yeah.
And then
So
you can.
he's like a special one. Yeah. That's all we'll say. I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, but anyway, do you wish you started comedy earlier?
I wish I started taking it seriously earlier. Like in high school, I started doing some.
Jesus Christ, in high school.
I did one thing in high school. Like my first.
I'm super jealous in high school. No, I mean, I would have been bad until my 30s. I took things too personally. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I did one thing in high school, and then I did well, and then I tried doing like one other thing, but I kept looking at the mics, and they were all like, "Oh man, you have to be over 21," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not 21." Right. Later on, I realized they're not. They just have to say that. But
right.
They
yeah, you gotta like wait outside, and okay, you're on deck or whatever. You can come in.
Right. I wish I knew that because I probably would have started earlier.
It's like you can't advertise that.
Yeah.
Then the alcohol people are going to be on their asses.
Yeah, exactly. And then in college, I did like one or two mics in my college town at a fish market, which was interesting.
Throwing fish?
It smelled like fish the whole time, so that was so distracting. But basically, I stopped going to that because my professor was going there as a comic, and
really,
she sucked. So I just had to sit there and be like, "That was so funny, Professor. Don't fail me." But then I bombed and I said something offensive, and then I came in the next day and I got the cold shoulder, and I'm like, I need to stop going to this mic. But I should have just hosted my own. I feel like that's what everyone's got to learn. Like if people are in a small town, just host your own mic.
Right, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And then just be like, I'm sorry, like we have another relationship outside of this.
Yeah.
Like, please, I can't have you be on here, or at least when I'm up on stage, please just leave the room or something. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't want to look in the crowd, see my professor shaking their head, and then the next day in class, they're like, all right, we're going to talk about, like, using appropriate language. I'm like, don't call me out for my thing last night.
Using appropriate language is comedy.
Yeah, it's just comedy. It's comedy. It wasn't even, like, a crazy edgy set either. That was the part that was funny to me. If it was super edgy, I'd be like, all right.
George Carlin, I think of that.
Right? It's like performing for your grandma or something. I can't do that.
God. That's awful. Sorry you had to go through that. So what are your goals in comedy?
I feel like I want to, like, I'm starting to, like, see the path of, like, where I need to go to progress to getting at least, like, shows and doing other things and, like, talking to promoters.
How many minutes do you have right now?
Probably, like, 15, 20.
Okay, do you want to do Quantum Brewing tonight?
I'd be down to do Quantum Brewing.
It's over by Mic Drop.
Yeah, perfect. That'd be sick.
Remind me to when we're done. I can put you on the list. Let's see. So I interrupted you. Sorry.
All good. But I feel like the secret is like, before I didn't really have a vision on like how you move forward, and that really, I feel like that's like a big roadblock for a lot of comics, is they like comedy, they know they like comedy, but you don't know how you move forward.
Right, yeah, we need more shows like Crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Although it wasn't, obviously 100% accurate, because Pete Holmes started before certain things happened.
Right.
They didn't date it back when he actually was doing it. They just put it in modern times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it'd be really useful. Like, I'm working on trying to like post bits on social media.
Right.
I want to start producing like even like short skits. I did digital media, so film in college, and just for comedy. Like, I knew I wanted to do comedy related things.
So. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. If you ever need people to collaborate, I might be able to help.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done some sketches or whatever. I want to do more. I have my own web, or a series that I started actually before I knew I was a comic.
Mm-hmm. A series here in you now.
And how to ride a unicycle and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is I'd never really show you how to ride a unicycle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Although in one episode I was like, oh yeah, I realized that I haven't showed you how to ride a unicycle. We'll see. So I like that because it's almost like a blog, but it's on a unicycle. So
that seems like an interesting format.
Yeah. Yeah, like during lockdown, I did how to ride a unicycle and brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But then back then, I think it was like longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and it was on my old YouTube channel. So I don't know. I might like pay for premium on that old YouTube channel. Download the video, because you can't download it unless you have premium, and then turn off the premium.
I could send you a website that lets you download stuff, but you'll get a few porn viruses, but it's okay. It's fine.
Who doesn't want a porn virus?
It's the best kind. I'm like doing work and all of a sudden porn pops up. It's like, it's not my fault.
I guess this is a mandatory break. Yeah. Okay, so what is your favorite joke?
My favorite joke?
Could be anybody's joke.
I like
tell it. You don't have to.
I like Norm Macdonald's joke about the moth that lasts for like 5 minutes, because I just like torturing people by making them listen to the whole joke.
Yeah,
it's so good. I love those.
Yeah.
I think about that one often though.
That's cool. Nice. So what was your favorite? Yeah, what was your first joke?
My first joke. So I have shaky hands, right? It's like a condition, and I knew
it's not called shaky hands though. Right?
Not called shaky hands.
Why not?
Right. So I'm like, okay, I'll make a joke about it. And so my first joke was, I went to the doctor, and for a long time we actually didn't know what was causing the shaking hands. So he's like, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but we don't know what it is and there's no cure. And I'm like, yes, that means I get to name it, right? Like, think about all the legendary illnesses, right? You got like Parkinson's, that's named after a guy, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to be known for this horrible disease. That's great. He's like, okay, I guess you can name it. And I'm like, I got to come up with something good, right? Like, think about all the big league illnesses, right? PTSD, HIV, AIDS, all abbreviated. So I got it.
Right.
It's PJHS. He's like, what does that stand for? Permanent Jazz Hand Syndrome. Super corny, but that was my first joke I came up with.
And you actually told it to the doctor?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow! Did he laugh?
Yeah.
There you go. You were a comic before you even knew you were one.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do you have like a favorite fan interaction? Either you were a fan of comic, or someone came up to you after a show and said, "Great job," or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I've had some decent interactions. I feel like for the most part, people just like offer constructive criticism, which is really funny, because I'm like, okay, like, oh, you were great, but you were playing with the mic stand. And I'm like, just say you're great. I don't care. I don't care.
It's like, what, it's distracting? Like, maybe it's part of my personality.
Yeah, some people, when I hear their constructive criticism, I'm like, absolutely, especially if they're funny.
Yeah.
Like, when one of the guys who killed it comes up to me and he's like, hey man, your set was great, you should do this. I'm like, taking notes. But then when the least funny person of the night comes up to me and gives me a note, or just some random guy in the crowd, I'm like, I didn't ask.
Right, yeah. Well, I do notice that newer comics will take the mic out of the mic stand and they'll leave the mic stand in front of them.
Yeah.
And that just drives not anybody with OCD or I don't know. I don't know if a neurotypical person would be annoyed by that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why? It's in the way.
I've definitely forgotten to move it before. You know, you
sure, yeah.
That's one of the pieces of advice I get all the time.
It's like, yeah, if you're not going to have it there, then play with the mic stand.
Right.
But then you also have to understand that the reason to not play with the mic stand is that if you break it,
right,
then mic stands break all the time just from normal wear and tear.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people put their foot on it and applying pressures, and it's not just. It's like over and over. It's like repetitive, stress.
Yeah.
And then that's how mic stands break.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, I was hitting audience members with the mic stand, so maybe that's why they said stop playing with it. But
that's what you define as playing with the mic stand?
I was having fun.
Oh, okay.
That's playing.
Exactly. Let's see. So what's your favorite place to do comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I liked, I like it a lot, like here in San Diego. I liked it in New York. There was Governor's Comedy Club was a lot of fun, doing the Long Island Laugh Off. The comic strip in New York is good if you get to know the people there. There's a few other clubs out there that I like. I definitely like Madhouse a lot. I feel like it's definitely embraces that vibe of like we're working on our stuff and we're all getting better at the same time and like building an audience. And then American Comedy Club up the road is great. So there's a ton of really good clubs.
American Comedy Company.
Yeah, American Comedy Company. Yeah.
Oops. And then have you been to Yellow Door yet?
No, I haven't been there.
Yeah, it's just on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh Factory doesn't have an open mic here in San Diego.
Yeah.
They used to, but whatever. And then Mike Drop has one tomorrow during the day.
Oh, cool. And
then my mic is close to Mike Drop, so you can go to their daytime mic and then go over to mine.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Let's see. So what was your family like growing up?
Very, very normal. I feel like that's very heartbreaking for a lot of people to hear.
No. Why?
Because, I mean, a lot of the comics have really crazy families. I feel like my immediate family, like my nuclear family, super normal. And the farther you go out, the crazier it gets. Sure. Like, I've got, crazy uncles, crazy grandmas, whatever. But my own family was, like, pretty normal. And then the minute I graduated high school and went to college, they're like, all right, let's drop all the drama on you, But yeah, just super normal.
But are they religious or?
No, they're I was raised pretty much agnostic for the most part.
Oh, okay.
Like they never explicitly like told me that like anything about God. I kind of just was left alone to figure it out on my own.
Oh, right.
I mean, my grandparents are very Catholic, right? Irish Catholic. And then as you move down, like my parents were just like, they're like, I don't know. No, I don't buy it.
Right, they probably had a falling out with organized religion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is just playing in a McDonald's playground, which is so unfortunate. It's not like a real memory. It's just like capitalism taking over my brain.
I wonder if it got you sick.
Yeah.
It's so dirty in there.
Probably, 100%.
Yeah. All right, cool. So what's the biggest audience you performed for so far?
Probably the Long Island Laugh Off. That was definitely over 50, probably like 60, 70 people. Cool. It was pretty good. It was a great crowd. It was because that one, you were encouraged to bring people, but it wasn't a bringer because it was a competition. Sure. But there was a rabbi there who did a stand-up set, and he was great. But he brought his whole like synagogue, so so the one Jewish joke I made bombed, obviously.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Cool. Would you ever do a character on stage?
Kind of. I wouldn't say it's full blown character. Like I'm not being 100% genuine. I think I'm genuinely like sarcastic, I would genuinely make these jokes that I make on stage in casual conversation.
Sure.
But I'll say a lot of things about like I'll come off a little bit more of an asshole, maybe a little bit like pervier, but I'm not really that. It's just more just because it makes it funnier for me.
Sure, makes sense. Cool. So you ever done clean comedy?
Yeah, I started with clean comedy.
Oh, okay.
I liked clean comedy. I think it works if you're like really take the time to do it. But one of the big complaints I got early is like, why is your comedy so clean? And it was more just because like I always had like a family member in the crowd or something like that.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely harder to do clean comedy.
Clean comedy
really,
is the
like
hardest.
right good.
Like Jerry Seinfeld, I don't know how he does it. Clean comedy is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Have you ever won a comedy contest or anything like that?
I haven't won any contest so far. I was in like a talent show that I did all right. Like there wasn't a defined winner though. It was just you had to audition and then it showed it off. It was like a cabaret. But no, I haven't won anything.
Okay,
Because I suck.
Still new anyway. Let's see. What's your best booking story? Like you had a show that you're like, oh, I can't wait to get booked on there, and then it happened or whatever.
Yeah, I was super excited to get booked for the comic strip because I know that's where Seinfeld started, and that's like
nice.
one of the guys I really like. And so I went to a few of their open mics for a while, and it was just after a minute, they're like, you know what, you want to get booked for a show? And I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm.
Sweet. Let's see. What's the worst thing about comedy right now?
The worst thing about comedy right now is social media has had a really big impact on comedy. Not only like, I think social media and comedy have positives. Like, you know, you get a lot more exposure than you would normally get.
Right.
You know, if you're able to navigate it, you can have a lot of fun with it. But some comics now have to lean into certain tropes, like over-reliance on crowd work because you need to get more clips because you have to release a new clip every week. You can't come up with a new, like, killer joke every week, but you can have a funny crowd work interaction every week.
Right, but I would like everybody to get together and make it a trend of like posting the bad ones that don't go well, maybe with some commentary that's funny over it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it'd be really funny if people posted videos of them bombing. I saw one guy do that.
Yeah, but just to counteract, you know, even just say at the beginning, like make it a series. Like everybody thinks that this is comedy, where you know. But then they don't want to show you all the times it goes wrong, which is a higher percentage of the time it goes right. You know, because people are surprised when they're heckling and then they're like, oh, I was just trying to do the thing.
Yeah.
But that's not real comedy.
Heckling has gotten a lot worse since these clips have been coming up on
Right, and
Instagram.
they're not learning the right lessons. They think, oh, I just have to say something funnier. You know, or I just have to keep doing it and eventually it'll work.
Right.
Or whatever. It's like, no, we don't need your help.
Right. Like, you get audience members, sometimes I feel like heckling can be good if, like, honestly, I think heckling can sometimes save a bombing comic, which is a weird take.
Well, it's just catch-22 from, I think, that heckling, how to respond to a heckler is a good skill. You know, if we could get to a culture where everybody knew not to heckle, then comedy would be way better.
Yeah, I went to a mic the other day where the heckling was insane. Like, the comics couldn't get through a single joke without the same, like, 2-3 people yelling something. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this person's bombing and they're just like, screw it, I'm going to tell them that they suck. It was just every time they told a joke, someone in the crowd was like, let me add my punchline to this joke. Like, no.
Yeah.
Get on stage then. You can. It's an open mic. And you still choose to heckle. That's crazy.
Right, yeah, and then you try to talk to them and like, oh, no, I don't want to go up there.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't go up there and then sit down.
Yeah.
And do the same thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, or how, you know, I don't know. Everybody should just stop heckling. It's not helping comedy. Let's see. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yeah, I've been in one. It wasn't bad. It was just like the guy in front of me all of a sudden like slammed on his brakes.
Wow.
Slammed. And I would slammed on it exactly the same time. And I just missed it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden the guy from behind me just rams into the back of my car.
Right.
And I just walked out. And, you know, there was like a couple and they walk out of the car. And the bumper of my car fell off, and I just put it back on, and they're like, "We good?" And then they drove off.
Did you get their information?
No.
Oh no! How much did it cost you to fix it?
It wasn't that much, believe it or not. It wasn't that bad. Because it was like I was able to like hook it back on, and then there was only a slight problem, but it was not that bad.
Wow. Do you still have that car?
Yeah, I still have it.
And the bumper hasn't fallen off again?
It had a problem where it was making like this noise, and then we had to fix it because they're like, oh, the bumper fell off.
So you just had to delay fixing it.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
I'm like, let me wait till this noise gets really, really annoying.
Oh no, that's awful. Jeez. Let's see. Do you have any merch?
No, not yet. I wanna start
Stickers.
making merch.
Start with stickers.
That's what I'm thinking. Stickers look like a lot of fun and they're a really good way to like promote yourself.
Yeah, there's people that have stickers. This is my sticker. One of the older ones.
It's a cool one. Yeah, I've been seeing them around.
Everybody else's stickers. This one's fading. It's not supposed to look like that, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, like actually, back in the 2000s when I was in college, there was just these starting to do the like shirt a day, where there'd be like a website that just had one shirt on there. And I tried to get into merch back then, but I was a busy college student. I would put it up and then it wouldn't sell.
Right.
There was maybe Friendster or something, MySpace.
Yeah,
I didn't I was too busy to really promote it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it because before it's like I've never really seen like smaller comics have merch, but I've been noticing comics handing out stickers and all this cool stuff. I'm like, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, this is my merch right here.
Yeah, it's sick.
Comedy or Worse was the brand.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like
awesome.
the podcast, it's all tied together.
A lot of synergy going on.
Yeah, exactly. Sweet. So what do you want to talk about? What did we bring up that you want to dive deeper into?
Yeah, I guess I want to dive deeper into like I guess what like direction is comedy going into now?
Oh, okay. You want to predict?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, it's hard now to when you say that or to like talk about comedy, it's like you have to kind of talk about politics because and it's like, oh, don't keep the politics out of your thing. Well, I mean, politics is running your life. Politics is local. HOA is politics.
Right.
School board, local school board. Politics is local. So there's politics in the comedy scene. When you ever bring people together, there's politics.
Yeah.
There's cliques and whatever, but there's people that you get along with more than other people. So I think that we need to educate the public more. I try to with this podcast. I try to encourage people to go see live comedy. Then they can be the one educating their friends and family that oh yeah, you're sending me these clips of crowd work, but that's not comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It's barely a part of it.
It's like it's comedy because we're having to deal with it. But yeah. So it's really hard to predict where it's going, and some people are like, oh, you can't say anything. It's like, well, you're just not creative enough.
You can say anything if you're funny.
Yeah, like anybody like that, it's like, well, why don't you try clean comedy and then see how you feel. If you think it's restrictive, you're gonna get in trouble for saying stuff. Yeah, go do comedy in front of your church that you supposedly love or whatever.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I think clean comedy, I'm glad I started with clean comedy for a few years before I transitioned because I feel like you need to understand joke structure.
Right.
Like there's a science to comedy, like delivery, all these other things. And if you get it down where you can make something about like, don't you hate it when your bananas turn brown? Like, if you can make a joke about that funny, then you can make anything funny. You know, that's the secret. It's about being clever. It's not about being edgy. It's not about being whatever, because there's so many comics that have come and gone, especially like I feel like the late 2000s. You got like Dane Cook types, a lot of people who were just edgy, shock value, and then once that initial shock was over, I feel like that kind of comedy just doesn't work.
Right, yeah, and the good thing to go see live comedy is then you're not going to be filled with AI slop. You know, I mean, I guess it's possible they could put on a light show and it's not really a person or whatever, you know, but it's a lot harder to do that right now.
Yeah.
Connect. I hope with AI that people come back around and go, oh, you know what? I'd rather, you know, have a human that created this, you know, instead of like AI generated, because they will get funnier. That's the problem. They will maybe even be funnier than humans, but it's not really a human perspective when it's all human. You know what I mean? Like it's trained on the data, but that doesn't make it unique.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what's going to happen, if I were to predict what's going to happen over the next few years in terms of social media and AI and comedy, is that at first we're going to get a lot of really great, like comedians are just going to post their stuff consistently, and you know it won't do as well as memes. It's just a fact, because it takes too much attention span. But people will do that, and some people will get success from that. But when AI advances to be funnier and like to replicate stand-up comedy better, you're not going to be able to compete, because they're going to be pumping out jokes like 24/7, 24/7.
Right, that's why it ties back to live comedy.
Then people are just going to be like, man, I don't care. It's more about the experience of being in the room than it is about the actual jokes.
The human connection. You know, so yeah, like the people that do crowd work really well, and you watch them over and over, you realize that they're not really doing crowd work. They're doing a decision tree. Oh, I'm going to say, where do you work? And then they have an answer for anything. They even have an answer if they don't have an answer. You know, you ever see them? Oh, I have nothing for that, and they move on, and you forget that they did that because they're so quick to move on.
Yeah, it's like working in sales.
Go, oh, I have to come up with something for everything that everybody says. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You know, so they do it, and then they go right into a bit, and it feeds right into a bit. And the good thing about that is that it brings the audience on board, even though they know that even subconsciously know that these comics have this material rehearsed and they know their stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just this illusion that, oh, we're just having fun, we're just riffing here, we're just connecting, you know. And it is that, but also it's because they know their life so well and the skills that they can just go into that story, you know, and into this story or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like some comics do lean too much into the we're just having fun here, we're just riffing, and then that's why like people reach problems progressing, is because they can't see past that. I feel like that's a lot of new comics too. Like I've definitely gotten close to that point where I've been like, oh, we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah, you gotta take risk.
Yeah, your craft just won't get better.
If your open mic sets are, you know, unless you're like preparing for a real show, then okay, I can see going over your good material, you know. But it's crazy. You see comics that, you know, even San Diego, even though it's a great scene, I see comics doing the same exact material over and over and over, and not adding to it, not exploring it, and it's like they don't realize they're getting bored of it.
Yeah.
And it starts not working as good, and then they get frustrated.
Yeah.
They don't understand.
I mean, the theory of like mastering the tight five, it makes a lot of sense. Like you really do want to master your tight five no matter what.
Sure, but you don't have to do it every time.
You should probably, let's say you have a tight five and you want to win the crowd over, do your first 4 minutes of your tight five and then do 1 minute of new stuff.
Well, really, you should do the middle. In the middle is the best place for new stuff, because people forget the middle anyway.
Exactly. So you could throw it in anywhere, like, you know, do a minute of old stuff, minute of new stuff, minute of old, minute of new, minute of old.
Sure.
And however you want to format it, but you're getting the new stuff in there. Like, it's okay if not all your material is new. I'm perfect. Like, you want to master what you're doing, but you want to throw a little bit of new in there, because guess what? Maybe that joke will be your best joke.
Right.
if you take the risk and put it in there.
Exactly.
Maybe it'll suck.
Yeah.
Probably will.
And then the other thing is, as you keep writing, hopefully the quality of your comedy that you're writing, new stuff, is better. You're already cutting away all the stuff that you tried in other jokes that didn't work.
There'll be jokes that, like, a lot of my older jokes, I would be like, how am I going to master this joke? How am I going to make it better? How am I going to make it better? And while I'm practicing my old stuff, like, I started implementing like small new ones, and then you might accidentally make like some of the best jokes are completely by accident. You're like, oh
exactly.
fuck, why did I spend all this time practicing this one stupid
it's okay
joke?
to set a joke aside and come back to it later or never.
Yeah, like sometimes jokes just suck, and no matter how much work you put into it, it's never not gonna suck.
Yeah, and you don't know what's gonna connect with the audience, because I had this camera bit where I just kept saying silly things, and it had to do camera, like different. I don't want to tell the joke, and then like out of the blue, there's someone that's seen me do that bit asked me, "Are you going to do your camera bit?" And I'm like, "Oh shoot, no, I don't remember what it is." Because sometimes too I would like riff in it, and it's like, well, okay, now you're getting in your own head. It's like, what's the best order for these? Which ones aren't working? It's like a lot of work to work on a joke, and it's like, I just set that joke aside. But I was like, oh well, they're wanting to see it, so I'll do it. I'll try to bring it back, and then it feels like it never reached that level. But they're not gonna tell me that, they're just happy that I tried.
Yeah, they just wanted to see it like again.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's like I'd have to like find what was the best version. I probably recorded it,
exactly.
And then try to practice that,
and then evolve from there.
Yeah, because that's the thing I don't always do is the homework. The homework is the hard part, where you're watching back your sets, taking notes, evolving, because you'll riff and it's like, oh, or like naturally tie stuff together and make it more conversational, and then sometimes you'll forget and not do that, and it's like, oh, why is the joke not working as bad? Good. So yeah, because I didn't do the thing where tying these three similar jokes into a cohesive story.
Yeah, like the connections between jokes people don't get, because that's one of those things where once you find that connection, it's like the aha moment of like you have a joke that's about like something completely unrelated to something else, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, they're connected by this. But once you connect them, all of a sudden the joke is like a steady stream instead of
and
like
then a joke that you set aside is like, oh, this is also connected. Now we got 4.
Yeah.
And rule of threes only works if it's not like you have to cut one. You can just keep going. You could do 5 now.
Yeah, exactly.
To figure it out.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is like I've had old jokes where I've been like, man, this joke just doesn't work, I'll get rid of it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, like this joke would lead perfectly into that joke. Maybe it'll work. And then it does.
Exactly.
And that's always super satisfying because you're like, I almost gave up on you.
Yeah, you also shouldn't give up on a joke just because it didn't work once. You gotta try it multiple times in front of different audiences. And then if it's still not working, just set it aside. I never say that any joke is dead. Yeah. It's just set aside.
Yeah, then that's a good way to look at it.
Even if his joke is about someone now that's dead, maybe you just need to rework the joke. You just even start with, oh yeah, this is a joke I used to tell when this famous person was alive. Let's go, remember that time?
Yeah.
There's so many ways of getting into it. Yeah. Let's see. So you did a mini doc. Where can people watch that?
You can watch it on YouTube.
No way.
Yeah, it's great. It's 15 minutes long.
Your channel?
No, it's on my the guy who edited its channel, because I was the director. It's called Funny Business.
Funny Business.
Funny Business on Cody Dro's channel. It's great. It was my senior dissertation piece for my class, but it was
college.
Good. Yeah.
Right, makes sense.
We interviewed Brian Holtzman, Aaron Berg, a few touring comics, and then it was half that and then half local comics to show what you have to go through at the beginning, what are the challenges near the end, the middle. It's just a little 15-minute overview of what comics think about the industry.
Oh, that's super cool. Nice. So, would you ever do something like that again, or just do sketches?
I mean, I would love to go back. I thought I would like pre-written sketches the best. I like documentary and interview work a lot, surprisingly. But I think I want to just get into anything to do with filming, whether it's like a pilot for a series, sketches, anything like that. I think that,
So what do you think your best skill is in that? The directing or the writing?
I like writing a lot. I think most comics just love writing.
Sure.
I hope. That's 90% of it.
You better start keep writing.
And then, directing could be fun. Editing is like a love-hate relationship.
Sure.
It's
it takes a lot of
long.
time.
Yeah. And like the software can suck sometimes. Like I use Premiere Pro, After Effects, Avid's the worst. So much software, so much to do. Or you have to scrap something entirely because there was like a blip on the mic. That's the worst.
Jeez.
But yeah, I would love to get back into like making more film-related comedy.
Yeah.
Especially with AI, I feel like it's one of those things where people will I think people want more authentic material, whether or not that's reflected in the numbers.
Yeah, I tried one time to like take out all the pauses and using AI, and I was like, I listened back to it, and I'm like, well, this isn't the same.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like, I mean, it did it fairly good. It wasn't like a lot of jump cuts that were like jarring,
Slightly awkward,
but it just was like, okay.
Or like, I think
it's cut.
Sometimes it's good for things like if you need captions, it's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah. Or you want to break it up into a bunch of clips. That's edited, but it's edited at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, cut this out. And the or whatever might actually add to it because you're like you can see them thinking in real time.
Yeah. Some people will say like cut the but sometimes that like build up just makes the punchline a little bit better.
Yeah, it makes the story better because like you have to like people think about it and imagine. Oh yeah, I can imagine that guy in that situation, and then it's like it's tension. Like, well, what's the punchline or what's the end of the story? What's the resolution?
Yeah.
And then cliffhanger. Watch the whole episode to find out.
Yeah.
Damn it, they got me
every time.
Yeah, like I want to do more clips, and that's why I'm like, okay, the minimum is like I'm gonna have our promo, and then I started recording the promo at the end, after the podcast. So just evolution,
Yeah.
So you ever done your own podcast or been on another podcast?
No, I've never done or been on a podcast.
Wow, I'm so honored.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay.
This is great. I want to do a podcast at some point.
Sure.
I've been trying to figure out ideas because I want a gimmick. Sure. I know it's cheap, but I'm trying to figure it out.
Sometimes gimmicks are like the thing that draws them in.
Yeah.
You gotta have a catchy name or whatever. I don't know. I just one day it was like, I got to name the podcast. And I'm like, I was kind of being sarcastic at the time, and I was in a mood. I'm like, okay, comedy or worse. And
right.
I'm like, that's it.
Which is just so organic.
It's so perfect. And people are like, oh, I'm the worst thing or whatever. It's like, okay, if you say so.
It's part of the
subjective.
title. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was thinking about doing one where you comedians play drinking games with each other and answer questions.
Okay.
Which would be funny because it would get worse as it goes on, as people get more drunk.
Sure. How about a sketch where you pretend to be doing that?
Yeah.
I think that's safer.
That's part of the reason why I didn't do it, because I'm like, getting people to drink is just not.
Yeah.
Drinking games are fun, but it's messy.
Alcohol poisoning, and like I don't know. Like I think it's great that people enjoy stuff, but it's poison. I don't know how to else tell you, but as I get older, it's like you really see like the timeline between doing the thing and having the consequences is shorter. I've had one beer, woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm like burping, and it smells like beer, and I'm like, this is gross.
Yeah.
And before I would just like wake up, go to the bathroom, have that happen, and not even have it affect me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and that's part of the reason. Again, I thought it would be a funny concept, not as much of like an executable one. You know what I mean?
Right. Why?
Yeah.
I gave you the thing of maybe they pretend to be drunk, although pretending to be drunk it can be problematic itself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a different situation where they don't know that's happening.
Right.
And it's like they're sitting around. And it's like, wait a minute, why are we slurring our words? Or it's like we're drunk. Like, what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
don't
a lot
want
you can
to
work
mess
with
up
it.
your creative process, but that's my feedback from my perspective right now.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I can see what you mean.
You can
work with that.
Maybe you can make it like into a sci-fi thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to do something sci-fi for
It's
if
like
I get
it turns
back.
out they have a virus.
Yeah.
And it got it from a computer. The AI gave them a virus, and it makes them seem drunk. So
They're now brain rotted.
exactly. Who knows? You can go any direction.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
There you go.
I'll expand.
You don't need to give me writing credit. Just a nice thank you.
Yeah. Special thanks too.
Yeah. Special thanks. Hell yeah. Okay, so how you feel about the podcast?
I feel like it's good. I feel like I like the way that you ask questions. I like how you can just deep dive into things and run away with it.
Okay, I'm trying to get better. This is over 100 episodes. Let's see. So, how do people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, Brennan O'Grady. There's an underscore before and after the O, right?
Okay.
You could just look up the name though.
I think I found you and I put it in the doc.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just look up here. It'll probably be here, or maybe it'll be down here.
It'll be somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be on his side. My handle's on this side. So.
And then my TikTok is B.O.Grady. So that's easy.
You didn't choose one that you could have the same across all social media?
It was like my old Instagram got hacked.
Oh, no.
It was probably my fault. I probably clicked on something. But now they're selling crypto, so it's not me. I'm not the one selling crypto. But they changed my name and everything, so it's all good.
At least.
Yeah, it's not identity theft or anything. They're just...
Well, it's follower theft.
Yeah, they stole my followers, but I'm back. We're so back.
Yeah. That makes sense. I saw you had like 14 posts. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he hasn't been doing comedy that long or whatever.
Yeah, no, I had my
I'll
old
have
account.
anybody on.
Yeah.
If you're in San Diego visiting or you just moved here, try to come on the podcast. Email comedyorworse@gmail.com. Yeah. All right, so that's enough plugs for the podcast. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been Comedy or Worse. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get it down better.